Throughout almost all of Adventure Time, it was hinted at that Jake the dog would eventually die at some point in the series. And of course, he eventually does die, as we saw in the intro of the finale, with us seeing a stone statue made of him residing right next to a statue of Finn. And it was then confirmed and shown to be the case even more so in Adventure Time Distant Lands, with us seeing Finn with a Jake tattoo on his chest in obsidian, as well as through the entire plot of Together Again being about Finn reuniting with Jake in the Dead Worlds after he dies. And of course, with all of this left the question of how exactly did Jake die? And well, in Adventure Time there is an episode titled The New Frontier, in which Jake has a dream where he and a banana man go into space together, where he then meets his demise via suffocating. But what made this dream actually important was the fact that the cosmic owl who makes what happens in dreams actually happen in real life was there. And the episode then plays out with this exact scenario happening, a banana man coming to Ooo, building a rocket, and Jake trying to get on it to fulfill what he now believes is his destiny. But as the rocket wasn't ready, they blow a hole into the ground and fall into a cave, where Jake does almost drown, but of course since Finn was there, Jake is saved. But then during the episode The Comet, Finn and Jake get stranded from each other in space whilst fighting Orgalord, and Finn gets scared thinking that Jake was now going to fulfill his croak dream, but then later finds him in Banana Man's ship, safe. My only guess is that once again the only reason that Jake didn't have his croak dream here was because Finn was also here with them. I truly believe that if Finn wasn't, that Jake would have actually died here. But nonetheless, it of course remained as kind of the main, real, and strongly supported theory for how Jake would die. But in Fionna and Cake Season 2, as Fionna is looking through Finn's memories in the undergrowth, she actually sees what appears to be the exact moment of Jake's death, as we see an adult Finn scream Jake's name, crying in pure horror, as if he had just seen Jake die directly in front of him. And so with this, now it appears that Jake may have actually died whilst on an adventure with Finn, and possibly through saving him from an enemy that they were fighting. And just based off of Finn's appearance here, I would assume that it was either during the same time period, or possibly even during the adventure they go on that we saw Prisma watching in Season 1, where we see Finn and Jake on this dungeon island in the sky evading arrows, with Jake looking rather tired protecting this egg, before they then fight who they call King Cockatrice, who they easily defeat, but then a bunch more of Cockatrice on Cockatripes appear, and it sounds like they defeat them, so maybe this isn't the adventure they die on, but you never really know, as more Cockatrice or an entirely different enemy overall could have appeared directly after this. But anyways, the last theory for how Jake meets his demise isn't really canon, but is still a pretty cool and interesting theory, which is actually one made by Steve Wolfard, who worked on most of Adventure Time. The theory being Jake dying from old age, but then as all of the citizens of Ooo that are still alive attend his funeral, Jake's body starts stretching and breaks through the Candy Kingdom castle, and seeing this, Princess Bubblegum takes matters into her own hands and picks Jake up with her helicopter, and then actually uses his body to fill the massive crater in the earth that the Catalyst Comet created. And then eventually trees begin to grow over his body, thus actually bringing the world of Adventure Time back to its former state. Actually such an interesting concept, but once again is very unlikely to actually be how Jake really died. But regardless, let me know what you thought about this theory and the others that I discussed in this video, as well as how you think Jake may have actually died in the comments below. But nonetheless, with that said, that's going to be the end of the video, so consider dropping a like and subscribing to the channel, and I'll see y'all in the next video whenever that is.